Cultivators are the unsung heroes of farming. While tractors and combines get all the glory, cultivators have been doing the essential work of weed control, seedbed preparation, and soil management for generations. The best cultivators were built with a simple philosophy: make them strong, make them adjustable, and make them last forever. The machines on our list today share common traits. They're built from heavy-duty steel, feature time-tested designs, and are so mechanically simple that repairs can be done in the field with basic tools. These aren't complicated machines with computers and sensors. They're pure mechanical genius that has stood the test of time. So let's count down the 10 cultivators that have earned legendary status among farmers worldwide. Number 10. John Deere 400 Series Row Crop Cultivator. Starting our countdown at number 10 is the John Deere 400 Series Row Crop Cultivator, a machine that defined modern cultivation for generations of farmers. Introduced in the 1960s and produced for decades, the 400 series became the standard by which all other cultivators were measured. The 400 series was designed for precision row crop cultivation primarily in corn and soybeans. It featured John Deere's famous trip mechanisms that allowed individual shanks to fold back when hitting obstacles, protecting both the cultivator and the crop. The heavy-duty toolbar was built to last generations, and the modular design meant farmers could configure the machine exactly for their needs. What made the 400 series legendary was its adjustability. Farmers could fine-tune depth, angle, and spacing to match their specific soil conditions and crop requirements. The sweeps and shovels could be changed quickly, allowing adaptation from early-season close cultivation to later season between-row work. These cultivators were built during John Deere's golden era of manufacturing quality. The steel was thick, the welds were solid, and every component was designed for long-term durability. It wasn't uncommon for a single 400 series cultivator to work thousands of acres year after year without major repairs. Today, you'll still find 400 series cultivators working in fields across America. Many have been in the same family for 40 or 50 years, passing from generation to generation. The fact that parts are still readily available through John Deere's legendary parts network means these machines remain practical working tools, not just antiques. In the used market, clean 400 series cultivators command respect, often selling for $2,000 depending on size and condition. That's remarkable value when you consider a comparable new cultivator might cost $15,000. Number 9. International Harvester 45 Vibra Shank. At number 9, we have the International Harvester 45 Vibra Shank Cultivator, a machine that revolutionized field cultivation with its innovative spring-loaded shank system. Produced from the 1950s through the 1970s, the Vibra Shank earned a reputation that keeps it working in fields today. The genius of the Vibra Shank was in its design. Instead of rigid shanks that could break when hitting rocks or roots, IH used heavy coil springs that allowed the shanks to vibrate and bounce over obstacles. This meant fewer broken parts and better soil penetration in tough conditions. The vibrating action also helped break up clods and create better seedbed conditions. The 45 series was available in various widths and configurations, from small 8-foot models perfect for market gardens to massive 21-foot versions that could cover serious ground behind big tractors. The heavy-duty toolbar construction meant these machines could handle the stress of deep cultivation in rocky or root-filled soils. What makes the Vibra Shank special today is its versatility. These cultivators excel at both primary tillage and secondary seedbed preparation. The aggressive action of the spring shanks can work deeper than many modern cultivators, making them valuable for organic farmers who need to control weeds mechanically without herbicides. I built the Vibra Shank to survive decades of hard use, and many have done exactly that. It's not unusual to find 50 or 60-year-old units still working productively. The simplicity means repairs are straightforward. Replace worn sweeps, check the springs, grease the bearings, and you're ready for another season. The used market reflects the Vibra Shank's continued utility. Depending on size and condition, these cultivators sell for $1,500. Organic farmers particularly seek them out, sometimes driving hundreds of miles to acquire good examples. Number 8. Allis-Chalmers Rotobaler Era Cultivators. Coming in at number 8 are the Allis-Chalmers cultivators from the 1950s and 1960s. machines that exemplified the company's commitment to building equipment that would last forever. While Allis-Chalmers is perhaps better known for their iconic orange tractors, their cultivators were equally impressive. Allis-Chalmers cultivators featured incredibly robust construction with heavy channel iron frames and massive toolbar assemblies. The company's engineers believed in overbuilding equipment, and these cultivators show that philosophy in every weld and bolt. The standard finish was Allis-Chalmers' distinctive Persian orange paint, which has become iconic in vintage farm equipment circles. These cultivators came in various styles: spring tooth, rigid shank, and sweep configurations, allowing farmers to choose the right tool for their operation. The spring tooth versions were particularly popular for their ability to handle rocky soils without constant breakage. The flexible tines would bend over obstacles and spring back, saving countless hours of repair time. What sets these Allis-Chalmers cultivators apart is their weight and stability. The heavy construction meant they would stay in the ground even in challenging conditions, providing consistent depth control and thorough soil working. This weight also contributed to longevity. The heavy components simply don't wear out quickly. Today, Allis-Chalmers cultivators are sought after by farmers who appreciate vintage equipment and want tools that match their classic tractors. They're also popular among organic and sustainable farmers who value mechanical weed control. The machine's simplicity means anyone with basic welding and mechanical skills can keep them running indefinitely. Used values range from $800 depending on size, style, and condition. Parts can sometimes be challenging to find, but the active Allis-Chalmers collector community and aftermarket suppliers help keep these machines working. Number 7. Massey Ferguson Field Cultivators. At number 7, we have Massey Ferguson Field Cultivators from the 1960s through 1980s. Machines that combined British engineering precision with North American agricultural know-how. Massey Ferguson built cultivators that were both sophisticated and durable, a combination that has kept them valuable for decades. Massey Ferguson's cultivators featured excellent depth control systems and innovative gang arrangements that provided superior soil coverage and leveling. The company's engineers focused on creating cultivators that would leave fields in perfect condition for planting, with fine soil tilth and level surfaces that modern farmers still appreciate. These cultivators came in both rigid and flex frame configurations. The flex frame models were particularly innovative, with hinged sections that allowed the machine to follow ground contours while maintaining consistent working depth. This was crucial technology for farms with rolling terrain, and Massey Ferguson's implementation was among the best in the industry. The build quality on Massey Ferguson cultivators was exceptional. The red paint might fade, but the steel underneath remains solid after decades of service. The toolbar assemblies were built from heavy structural steel, and the pivot points featured proper bearings rather than simple bushings, ensuring smooth operation and long life. What makes these cultivators trusted decades later is their reliability and ease of maintenance. The mechanical systems are straightforward, and the quality construction means repairs are infrequent. Many farmers report using Massey Ferguson cultivators for 40 or 50 years, with nothing more than routine maintenance and occasional sweep replacement. Today, Massey Ferguson cultivators remain practical working tools. They're particularly popular in small grain country and among farmers who value thorough soil preparation. Used prices range from $1,500 to $5,000, representing excellent value for serious soil working equipment. Number 6. Oliver White Row Crop Cultivators. Landing at number 6 are the Oliver and White Row Crop Cultivators, machines that represented the pinnacle of mechanical cultivation technology. Oliver was later absorbed by White, but the cultivators from both eras share the same legendary durability and precision. Oliver cultivators, recognizable by their distinctive green paint, were engineering marvels. They featured precision depth control, individually adjustable gangs, and rock-solid construction that has allowed them to work for 50-plus years without major failures. The company's attention to detail showed in every aspect, from the quality of the castings to the precision of the adjustable components. The transition to White brought the Oliver expertise to a wider audience. White continued the tradition of building heavy-duty cultivators with excellent adjustability and rock-solid reliability. Both Oliver and White cultivators featured superior trip mechanisms that protected the machine and crops while still maintaining aggressive weed control. What makes these cultivators number 6 on our list is their precision and versatility. The adjustability meant farmers could fine-tune the cultivator for different crops, growth stages, and soil conditions. This adaptability has kept them relevant even as farming practices have evolved. Modern organic farmers particularly appreciate the precision these machines offer. The construction quality is what really sets Oliver and White cultivators apart. These weren't economy machines. They were built for commercial farmers who needed equipment that could handle thousands of acres without constant repairs. The heavy-gauge steel and quality components mean that well-maintained examples look and work almost like new, even after decades of service. Finding parts can be more challenging than for John Deere or Case IH equipment, but the active Oliver and White collector communities help source components. Many parts can also be fabricated by competent welders and machinists. Used values range from $1,500 to $6,000. With pristine examples commanding premium prices from collectors and serious users alike. Number 5. Case Field Cultivators. Coming in at number 5 are Case Field cultivators from the 1960s through 1980s. Machines that exemplified the company's old reliable motto. Case built cultivators that were straightforward, incredibly tough, and designed to work for generations without major problems. Case cultivators featured robust C-shank and S-tine designs that provided excellent soil penetration and mixing. The company's engineers focused on creating machines that would handle the toughest soil conditions, from heavy clay to rocky ground without constant breakage. The result was cultivators that became legendary for their ability to just keep working year after year. The standout feature of Case cultivators was their simplicity combined with effectiveness. There were no unnecessary complications, just well-engineered components assembled into a tool that did its job perfectly. The heavy toolbar construction provided stability and durability, while the shank spacing and angles were optimized for thorough soil working. Case cultivators came in various configurations to suit different operations. 3-section flex models could cover 30 feet or more behind large tractors, while smaller rigid frame units were perfect for compact operations. The modular design meant farmers could configure and reconfigure their cultivators as needs changed over the years. What makes Case cultivators trusted decades later is their reputation for surviving abuse that would destroy lesser equipment. Farmers who work rocky ground or tackle tough primary tillage particularly value these machines. The heavy construction that might have been considered over-engineering in the 1960s is now recognized as brilliant design that created multi-generational tools. Today, Case cultivators remain highly practical working machines. The orange paint might be faded, but the steel underneath is typically still solid. Parts availability through CNH Industrial means keeping these machines running is straightforward. Used values range from $2,000 to $7,000 depending on size and condition, with pristine examples occasionally commanding more. Number 4. Brillion Cultipacker Seeders. Taking the number 4 spot is the Brillion Cultipacker Seeder, a specialized cultivating tool that has achieved almost cult status among farmers who understand its value. Produced from the 1950s through today with minimal design changes, the Brillion represents the perfect marriage of cultivation and seeding technology. The genius of the Brillion design is its combination of cultipacking rollers and seeding mechanism. The heavy cast iron wheels firm the seedbed, while the precision seeding unit drops seed at exact depths and rates. This one-pass system saves time and fuel while creating ideal conditions for seed germination. The weight of those cast iron wheels, sometimes several tons, is what makes the Brillion so effective at creating perfect seed beds. Brillion cultipackers became legendary in hay and pasture establishment, but smart farmers found countless other uses. From cover crop seeding to food plots to establishing native grasses, the Brillion's ability to create perfect seed-to-soil contact has made it invaluable. The machines are particularly prized among organic farmers and those focused on soil health and cover cropping. What puts the Brillion at number 4 is its incredible demand in the used market. These machines have appreciated in value, with good examples sometimes selling for more than their original purchase price adjusted for inflation. Farmers who own Brillions guard them jealously, and auctions featuring Brillion equipment often see fierce bidding wars. The construction quality is extraordinary. Those cast iron wheels don't wear out. They'll outlast several generations of farmers. The frame is built from heavy steel that simply doesn't fail under normal use. The seeding mechanisms are mechanical marvels that can be rebuilt indefinitely with simple hand tools. Modern Brillions are still built to essentially the same design as units from the 1950s, testament to the perfection of the original engineering. This means parts interchange across decades of production, and repairs are straightforward. Used values range dramatically from $3,000 to $15,000 or more depending on size, condition, and attachments, with some pristine vintage units commanding premium prices. Number 3. John Deere N Series Field Cultivator. Taking the bronze medal at number 3 is the John Deere N Series Field Cultivator, particularly the N models from the 1970s. These machines represent the evolution of field cultivation technology into what many consider the perfect balance of capability and reliability. The N Series featured John Deere's advanced C-shank design with excellent clearance and penetration. The spring-cushioned shanks could handle obstacles without breaking, while still maintaining aggressive soil working ability. The 3-section folding design allowed these cultivators to cover 20 to 30 feet of width while still transporting down roads within legal limits. What sets the N Series apart is its combination of features that remain relevant today. The walking tandems on the rear provided perfect soil leveling and firming. The gang angle was adjustable, allowing farmers to change from aggressive primary tillage to gentler secondary seedbed preparation. The depth control system was precise and easy to adjust, even on the go. John Deere built the N Series during their golden era of manufacturing quality. The green paint was just the beginning. Underneath was steel that could handle decades of hard work. The pivot points were properly engineered with greasable bearings, the toolbar was massively built, and every component was designed for long-term durability rather than just passing warranty periods. These cultivators became favorites among serious farmers who needed equipment that could handle large acreage without constant breakdowns. The N Series' reputation for reliability meant farmers could depend on them for critical spring fieldwork when time is money. Many N Series cultivators have worked thousands of acres and are still going strong after 40-plus years. Parts availability through John Deere's network remains excellent, making these cultivators practical working tools even decades after production. The used market reflects their continued value, with clean N Series cultivators selling for $4,000 depending on size and condition. Low-hour examples in exceptional condition can command even more. Number 2. IH45 and 46 Series Chisel Plows. Coming in at number 2 are the International Harvester 45 and 46 Series Chisel Plows. Machines that revolutionized primary tillage and have remained trusted tools for over half a century. While technically chisel plows rather than traditional cultivators, their cultivation applications earn them a spot on this list. The IH chisel plow design was brilliant in its simplicity and effectiveness. Heavy coil springs on each shank allowed deep penetration while protecting against breakage when hitting rocks or roots. The shanks could be equipped with various points, from narrow penetration chisels for deep ripping to wide sweeps for aggressive cultivation and weed control. What made the 45 and 46 series legendary was their versatility. These machines could handle primary tillage in fall, breaking up compaction and incorporating residue, then return in spring for secondary cultivation and seedbed prep. The adjustable spacing and point options meant one machine could handle multiple jobs, saving farmers significant equipment investment. The construction quality on these IH chisel plows has become legendary. The toolbar assemblies were built to handle the tremendous forces of deep tillage in tough soils. The springs were properly engineered to provide thousands of cycles without failure. The whole machine was designed by engineers who understood that farmers needed equipment that would work for decades, not just until the warranty expired. Many 45 and 46 series chisel plows have now been working for 50, 60, even 70 years. They've survived decades of primary tillage, probably the most demanding job in farming, and continue to perform flawlessly. Stories of original owner machines with estimated millions of feet of tillage are common, testament to the incredible durability of the design. Today, these machines remain highly practical working tools. Organic farmers particularly value them for mechanical weed control without chemicals. Conservation farmers use them for strip till and precision tillage applications. The mechanical simplicity means repairs can be done in any farm shop with basic tools and welding equipment. Used values reflect the continued demand, with good examples selling for $3,000 depending on size and condition. The fact that 50-year-old machines still command these prices speaks to their continued utility and legendary reliability. Number 1. John Deere 10101 Found Series Field Cultivator. And taking the top spot at number 1 is the John Deere 101 Series Field Cultivator, a machine that represents the absolute pinnacle of traditional cultivation equipment. Produced primarily in the 1970s and 1980s, the 10 series combines every lesson learned from decades of cultivation engineering into one nearly perfect machine. The 1010 series featured John Deere's most advanced shank and toolbar design. The 3-section frame with hydraulic folding allowed coverage of 30 feet or more while maintaining excellent soil following on rolling terrain. The spring cushion shanks provided aggressive soil penetration while protecting against obstacles. The walking tandem finish system left fields in perfect condition for planting. What makes the 1010 series our number 1 choice is its combination of capability, durability, and continued relevance. These cultivators can handle any soil type, any residue level, and any tillage requirement from aggressive primary work to delicate seedbed finishing. The adjustability means farmers can optimize performance for their specific conditions. The build quality on 1010 series cultivators is extraordinary. John Deere didn't compromise on any component. The toolbar is built from massive structural steel. The pivot points feature proper bearings, not bushings. The hydraulic cylinders are industrial-grade units built to last generations. Every nut, bolt, and weld was done to standards that ensure multi-generational service. Perhaps most impressive is how relevant these machines remain today. Modern farmers using the latest no-till and conservation practices still find uses for 1010 series cultivators. The machines excel at strip-till applications, vertical tillage, and precision seedbed preparation. Organic farmers consider them essential equipment for mechanical weed control. The 1010 series benefits from John Deere's legendary parts support network. Virtually every component is still available, from individual shanks to complete toolbar assemblies. This means keeping a 1010 working is as simple as ordering parts and doing straightforward mechanical work. Today, 101 series cultivators are among the most sought-after used tillage tools on the market. Clean examples command premium prices, often selling for $6,000 or more, depending on size, condition, and features. Some pristine, low-hour examples have sold for even more to farmers who want the absolute best. Many farmers who bought 100 series cultivators new in the 1970s or 1980s are still using them as primary equipment today. That's 40 to 50 years of productive service from a single machine, earning back its purchase price hundreds of times over. The fact that these cultivators can still handle modern farming practices after decades of service is testament to the brilliant engineering that went into their design. There you have it, 10 cultivators that farmers have trusted for decades, from the versatile John Deere 400 series to our number 1 pick, the legendary 1010 series field cultivator. These machines prove that when you build equipment with quality materials, thoughtful engineering, and attention to durability, you create tools that can serve multiple generations. What all these cultivators share is a design philosophy that prioritized longevity over complexity. They were built during an era when manufacturers understood that farmers needed equipment they could depend on for decades, not just a few seasons. The result was machines that have become family heirlooms, passing from grandfather to father to son, still performing the essential work of cultivation. For farmers looking at used equipment, these cultivators represent exceptional value. They can often perform as well as modern machines for a fraction of the cost, without the complexity of hydraulics, electronics, and computerized systems. In an era of rising equipment costs and right-to-repair concerns, owning equipment you can maintain and repair yourself has never been more valuable. If you own one of these legendary cultivators, you're not just using a farm tool, you're preserving agricultural history while getting real work done. And if you're considering adding used cultivation equipment to your operation, any machine on this list would serve you well for years or even decades to come. What's your favorite cultivator? Have you used any of these legendary machines? Do you have cultivation equipment that's been in your family for generations? Drop a comment below and share your stories. And if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more content about the farm equipment that built agriculture. Until next time, keep turning that soil.